The name of this video is Buy the Dip because I'm going to, and just did, buy the dip. I just spent 12 grand on this drop. So there was a 1% drop from previous levels, and I bought 12 grand, which is a large amount for me. But I'm still seeing some weakness. Potentially hold this 535 area and go higher, and this is the low of the day, and this is the dip buy. Or, and also, let me just show you real quick. These are my buys. In the morning here, I sold 7.5 shares at 543, a near high of the day. I sold another 2 shares. I bought 2 shares back at 540 or so. I bought 10 shares at 535. Remember, double, triple down. Bought another share at 535, 535, a little bit about 534, and then another 2 shares at 535. So, what does this mean? We are about 4% from all-time highs, and 1% more, a 1% dip more, would be about 533, about 531, 532. About 530 or so. A couple dollars within the 530 range. Remember, how do I make money in the stock market? We buy low and sell high. And to do this correctly, you need to understand, what is your risk tolerance? How long are you willing to wait? And understand how long you might be willing to wait. Understand your downside. To me, the downside is another couple percent. Even if it's worse than this, it's a real dip to 518. 518 minus, 518 plus 5%, 4%. Yeah, it's another 4% down from here, basically. 4% from here. But I'm just going to keep buying, because we don't know if it's going to break this fully. This could be the dip buy right here at 535, which is right here. This is before big money really came in, and you can see big money held at 538. And then right here, it held at 539, but really they faked you out. If you were watching the market, it went to 533. But if we hold at 535, this is above 533, and it'll look like on the map, it'll look like about, it'll say 535. It'll try to align perfectly. It'll say 537 or something, 538, who knows. But it's at 535, it went to 534. I believe this is the dip buy again. Why? I'm going to sell where big money sold again. About 550. I'm going to trim some at 550. This would be the smart thing to do. And that's a 2.5% from here. And say I trim 10,000 at 550. So let's say I make 2% on the 30 grand plus 2%, make 600, and I'm going to take a part of that as profit. So maybe I'll take 300 profit if I'm up 6. And that's kind of how I do it. And look at that. We're getting a strong dip, a strong bounce. Oh, I love how the chart just lags. There's a strong bounce where, so far, 535 seems to be holding. So far. But what tells me that this is probably the low of the day is there was a lot of downward pressure, and then this is the move of the downward pressure. Indicates, lets you know, they're forcing the market down, and then it's down. It made that drop. So it's up nearly 0.5% to down nearly a full percent. So this is basically a 1.25, almost a little bit over a 1% move right here. And 1.5% move or so. And yeah, it's getting, market's getting traded. Just how it is. And we've been at overbought levels for a long time. Now we're not as overbought. Let's look at this. Let's look at the RSI. It shows you on Robinhood too. Okay, so we're decently under the 545 50-day moving average. Okay. And the 200-day moving average is about 510. Let's say 515. And we know where 510, 515 is. Like I said before, it's about here. The strongest support about 500. A lot of buyers around here. Yeah, about 515. But are we going to come back down there? I mean, it's possible. It's very possible. It's only a couple percent from where we are now. But if you're buying up here, I'm sorry. If I was buying at, all-time highs, 559, plus 4%, minus 4%, I would be down 4% on like 30 grand. But instead of being down 2,200, I have the opportunity to buy at these levels and make 2,200. See how that works. Buy low, sell high. Don't sell high, or don't buy high, don't sell low. More often than not, people will buy at medium to highs or buy a little too high or whatever it is. And it's high to them because the stock, they're getting emotionally affected by the volatility in the market. And this is why I say to be into ETFs and like SPY and VOO, because other stocks will be a lot more violent than the few percent swings up and down. And here's an example. Nvidia. 5% drop right there. Tesla, in one day, 7% drop. It's down 20% this week. From all-time highs, about 40% to now. It gave up about 35%. Yep. What was I saying the entire time when it was running? All the way up here. I was saying it probably could and would pull back, 20, 30% as it does historically. And that's exactly what happened. And right about now, it's not a bad dip buy. Right next to where there's a large, move at 570, 370. But as I said yesterday, I said there was more room for down on the market, and I was correct. Portfolio's at $40,000 because I took out $1,500 just now, and because I need to use it for something, and I'm willing to, I have 2,200, 2,300 left. Although I'm willing to go into margin if this dip buy goes beyond the 5%, as in if it goes to 530, I'm going to buy another $2,000 at 530. I'll be fully bought in at the 5%. And then I'm going to simply dollar cost average very slowly, a lot slower than I am now, with margin, a few $1,000s at the end of the, cycle until it comes back, and then I'll trim at highs. That's my, technique, if you would call it that. But I just watch it so well that the medium to short term, I'm buying at the very lows, selling at the, upper parts where I'm selling into resistance when it's bearish, like it is now, trying to protect myself. But I'm not shorting the market. I'm not doing anything too extreme. Even though I know generally where the market's going, I've been predicting it very accurately, doesn't mean I'm going to, do a 100K margin just because I know where it's going in the short term. Because if you know where it's going in the short term, sometimes sometimes it's just kind of erratic where you don't know. And just because you're in that time to where in the times where still be safe. Like what I'm doing, I'm just playing shares. If all hell breaks loose and, we drop another 5% this week, crazy 10% dip buy because of who knows what, that could happen in the United States or in America and the world, I'm not going to be screaming like a lot of the other people. I'm down. It's extreme for everyone, and that would be, say you're down 30% on Tesla, 20% on Tesla, you'll be down, 30 to 40%. And 30 to 40% on your entire portfolio is crazy. And that's what would happen to me. I had some insane volatility, and I guess I couldn't handle it, and I sold at the wrong times, bought at the right times often, but I sold at the wrong times often, and I just bought and sold too much. And it took me a while to realize what I was doing and start making money by being patient, dollar cost averaging, etc. into quality companies. So there's 28. I have $28,000 of my hard-earned cash in VU, which is basically the top 500 companies in the world or in the United States. Basically, also, it's like buying the economy. It's like buying them. It's like buying, United States. Vanguard owns 88% of the S&P 500. Let's say 90%, and that's trillion. They have trillions of dollars under management. Basically, the guys that own VU and that are pushing and controlling VU and SPY and the economy and the market are all the same people. They, large corporations and all this stuff is really just connected to each other. And look at that. So far, bullish so far. Potential bullish pendant right here. It's, build up, consolidate, tighten. It's like a little wedge in the short term. And then you're going to see where it goes. It's going to shoot higher, try to reclaim levels of 540. It's very possible. Or is it going to go down a little bit more? Because this month, we're down 3.5%. That's a large amount in 1 month. It's like this. You're up here, and then you're like, oh, that's a large amount. It's down 3% from highs. Yeah, if you bought that extreme down move, they want to make money, so they pumped it. You could have sold it for 3%, made 3%. And you can do this with other stocks too. But other stocks, a lot more volatile, a lot harder to do it with, a lot more tricky. With SPY, VU, a lot easier. This is what the pros, the billionaires, the people that have been in the market, this is why they tell you to buy the S&P 500 and nothing else. Because they know what they're talking about. It's, even with a high level of experience and risk tolerance, SPY is the way to go, because if you're fluctuating too much, even intermediate investors and swing traders get shaken out all the time, and it's horrible to watch. Friends down 10 grand, me down 5,000, 10,000, whatever. There's so many times where you should have held and you didn't. And that resulted in some losses. But when you're doing it with SPY or VU, the worst that can happen is from here, a 5 to 10% drop. And 5 to 10%, even if I go into margin, that's not going to be even close to a margin call. And even then, I can, keep working and, a couple $1,000s. I'm not going to be down 20, 30 grand. If I'm down, 2,000, 3,000, it's manageable. Do whatever is manageable for you that you can stomach. Risk tolerance, And you can see here, if you looked at my Dodge, I sold a bunch of Dodge. I had about $700 and I sold $550. Why? To buy another share of SPY. Yep. So going back to the low, this is the dip buy, as you can see. Big money or a lot of retail dropping it. They're going to go, this is the dip buy, and then you're going to go around here again and sell it, but it's probably going to go back up. But we can only wait and see. But here we go. It's by 0.25. It's by a quarter share right here. Yep, looks like we're going to, people are buying this support here, and now it's dropping. And it looks like we're going to 533, the dip buy, which I hate the market does this. It was the dip, does this even show on the candlesticks? It kind of does. No, it doesn't. Low 536? No. I bought a share at 533. Why does the market do that? I don't know why it's not accurate. Let's go on Webull real quick. So Webull has a lot more accurate charts. Let's go on Webull real quick and search something up. VOO or SPY. In 1 month. Candle chart. the weekly chart, not 1 minute. We'll do a, oh, okay. So I'm trying to move your car here. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. So you can see here, the bottom of the candle, 521. Really? I guess the previous dip buy, the bottom of the candle right there, it's 533. Guess it does show on here, but yeah. And here again, it seems like the buy is going to be at the same thing, about 533. But we should see. We shall see. Get a nice little amount of volume off that. Dropped, 30, pushed up a little bit from the sharp drop, 534. But extreme fear. That's all it is. That's all it is. What's going on, man? What's going on, dude? 7%, Tesla 20%. I'm losing so much money. Okay. You shouldn't have had so much money that you couldn't, handle the fluctuations. That's what risk tolerance is. It's happened to me before. I'm not saying that I'm above it. It's happened to me, but I've learned from my mistakes. Took a few times. Some people learn from others. I try to learn from others. Okay, this is looking good. You got $28,100 in here. Yeah, 535 I think is definitely going to be the dip buy. Because if we don't get that, or 533, whatever, but if we don't get that extra 5% drop to 520 or so, 515, 520, this is the dip buy. And I've been saying that. I said that at 538, and it was in the short term. It was. 540 was a dip buy, and it went to 550 all the way, in the first move. And then now we're doing it again. And, resistance is probably, right around here. 550, 545. But that's not bad. Little 2% gainer, That's why I'm buying so heavily as well. Because I'm going to trim once it bounces. Basically, we're about that quarter share. It's back there. 534. Same thing here. VTI. VTI looks a lot like SPY. Pretty much looks like the same. 3 months, 3%. 1 month, 4%. 3 months, about 2.5. 1 month, down 4%. So this is down less than VTI. VU. VTI is supposed to be a total market, but I think VU is the best. And holding that 434 in the short term, going back to 435, you're going to see, are we going to reject off of this? Or, most likely, are we going to reject? Look at this. They give you signs. This is not like, it's not invisible. There's a clear, double bottom or lower low. It's either going to bounce off of here or it's not going to hold this low the next time it retests it for the third point. And it's the same thing when it's 1, 2, 3 and it jumps up. Now 1, 2, 3 and it goes down. Same thing. And if it flushes again, that flush is going to take you all the way down to probably the 531, 532. And that's like a 1% drop. But for everyone else, you're already down 25%. Oh, another 5%. Oh my God, again, how low can it go? Okay, I'm going to start selling my VU. I'm going to start selling my Tesla. I'm going to start selling everything. It's what people do. And then they try to put the stuff that they dip bought in other things. This is what I was doing. Because you only have so much money. The things that I dip bought, earlier that are still going down, you'll be taking a loss on certain things. And then you're trying to take that money and put it into something else. And you'll make a little bit of money here and there. It's like, just stop it. Understand where you're getting into, what you're getting into. And don't have a million stocks. Have a few. Have the majority. on 1 or 2, 3, be diversified. But right now, this is exactly what I wanted. I'm going to be trimming, but I want about 70% in SPY, VU. Then, I got 10% NVIDIA, about 9, 10% in Tesla. PLTR, not even 1%. I want to get that up, but I do want PLTR a little cheaper. I need PLTR closer to 70, and I'll probably buy some. It's only 5% drop, and that'll happen with a 1% drop on SPY. And you can see how things correlate. Apple, big money kind of started to come in around 536, about 540, and or let's say about 533. Where is that? About a 3 to 5% drop. Same thing. Market goes down 1%, other stock goes down 3%, 5%, 10%, whatever it is. And, you can see the correlations here. Lower low. That was a large pop right there. Maybe I'm just not looking. Yeah. 534, 33, 533, 60. So it seems like this is retail. This large moves, I think retail is selling and trading insane amounts at once. No. Why do you think it's so violent and seems manipulated? But it's also showing you signs that it's not, the algorithm isn't just completely random. There's patterns to it. You can learn these patterns. You can make some money. But it's not that only. You need, the psychology, experience. Different stocks are different. Every stock moves differently. VU moves differently from Tesla, NVIDIA, SPY, Celsius, Costco stock, Target stock, MSTR, SMCI. They all move different. They all have different companies, but ETFs like VU, a lot easier in my opinion. I try to only, stick into this stuff, and I think you can make enough money off VU and putting a little bit of money in other stuff, smaller percentages and other stuff. I think you can make a decent amount of money. But you got to be disciplined. You got to be smart and patient. So before dropping, let's say there's 9 to 10, about an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, okay? So about 9:40 was the real drop or so. Right around here, 9:40, and now it's about 10:40. It's been about 1 hour. 1 hour. I think it's going to go a little bit lower or hold these levels. And the next 2 hours, maybe it'll start to recover a little bit, or it'll either go a lot lower, and we'll get that confirmation of breaking that 534 and going towards the 531, 533. But I mean, this is textbook. We're at 534. We're right here, right at previous resistance. Couldn't break the 534. Couldn't really break 533, 535. And then it did. Then it goes to 537. This is resistance, but not many people. There's more buyers here. And it's just following the basics. This is the best game. I don't know how people spend, I know how they do it because they're not aware of this game, the real life game. I used to be obsessed, absolutely obsessed with video games. You guys might just think, who's this guy investing all of his money, risking it for the biscuit, going ham, big ball sack, balls of steel, and 26 years old, 9 to 5 worker, invests his money, trying to retire early. Go to the gym, I can bench 225, I can do backflips, handstand push-ups, muscle ups, easily. And I'm just a regular guy. I used to play video games 8 hours a day. I'm not joking. 8 hours a day. Sometimes 5 days a week. Sometimes more. And I realized after a long time, because, it's easy to get sucked in. It's very addictive. They're built to be addictive. Social media is made to steal attention. In this world, you can get pretty goddamn far if you, do a little bit of research and really try. And the biggest thing is, this world is full of amazing technology and information and algorithms, but what that does is
We're in a distraction society. We're in an attention society. Attention stealing.
And this is what fucks people. Attention is one of your greatest assets. Focus. You spend billions of dollars to get your focus. I want to buy another piece of a share here. I think I do. Because like it's so extreme with the manipulation. It really could just have some, maybe people are shorting it here or something or whatever, and they're getting some confirmations or whatever it is, low, and then now they're just gonna pump it back to even to 540, and then Thursday, Friday, and then next week, what if we start recovering or something? You don't really know, but I'm just making hypothesis here. That was a sharp move right there, yeah. Could be right here. 534. Popped up $1. Who can move VU a full dollar? Probably the people who manipulate it. So say I hold this, I average up a little bit. So say I have 30,000 plus, I make the 4% back to all-time highs. So 537 plus 4%, go back to all-time highs roughly, 4.5%, okay. 30,000 plus 4.5% plus, so I bought this dip buy. This is 4.5% I made plus average returns. About 10%. That's a 15% year right there. That's, you do that a few times, now you're making 25% a year or so. Get 25% on 30K, 7,500. Do that for 3 years, 7,500, now you have 40K, making 15. You can make 10, 15 grand a year, and this is like you're making money with money. Otherwise, your money is just going to sit in your bank account and just do nothing, or you don't have any money at all. And that's a very large problem for most people. Why don't they have money? Well, for the most part, especially young people like me and people my age and even younger, because you don't work. Why would you have money if you don't work? Why would you have money? You're not supposed to have money. Why would you have it? You're spending money you don't have on food and bullshit and treating yourself on things, and you don't even make a bunch of money. And even if you worked full time, then you should be putting 50% of what you make of working full time into investments, and not even investments, just savings in general, SPY, whatever, just savings, not even touching it. And most people aren't even doing that. So if you're not doing any of that, and you're a young guy or older, whatever, first of all, get to the step one. Get a job. Get a full-time job. Collect as many paychecks as you can. Invest and, have your principles, and watch my videos and stuff. And none of this is financial advice. I'm talking to myself. And it's not that hard. Why do you think I type the titles of certain of my videos? It's so goddamn easy. You think they're just clickbait? Not really. Buy here, I'm giving you all my sells, all my buys. I'm 100% transparent with you guys. People said, "Oh, you're just reposting stuff. You're making little stock videos. You're just trying to make money." My channel generates $0 and 0 cents. It actually takes hours out of my day and my week. Hours. I don't have to be sharing this to the world, but I want to help people like myself and others. Why wouldn't I want to help people? If I have knowledge and something that's relatively free and experience, and why wouldn't I share that? It's a beautiful thing to help people. I think because big money is seeing a lot of volume here, I think they're, I mean, look at this, from 950 to 1050, there's a full hour of consolidation at 535. I like that. Yeah, let's buy another quarter. Another $133, quarter of a share. 534.76, nice fill. Got about $28,200 now in the VOO. And yeah, I was only down about 4,400 at highs. 43, yep. Yeah, down $700 from highs. But, as I said before, this is the stock market. I've been down 17,000 from highs, 20,000 from highs. And this is when I didn't know, my left hand from my right hand in the beginning, first 2 years of investing. And I'm waking up at 6 a.m. every day, trying to figure this stuff out, putting in the hours, the years, the time, pretty much for you guys, to help my friends, other humans, other people that need help. And completely for free. That's why I tell you guys, subscribe. It's free. You literally click a button. It takes one little, you just like touching your phone, a little tap. People understand, I don't have time to learn stock investment. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. You listening, yes, you. Average person. Even if you're above average, whatever. You guys spend hours, days, weeks, months, years doing absolutely jack shit. And what do I mean by jack shit? Scrolling, watching TV, dealing with girls, doing stupid shit. It's not even just stupid shit. Okay, you can do most of that. Okay, you're human, I get it. But replace 50-60% of your entertainment, of your time-wasting bullshit on things that'll benefit you in the future. Because what is today? Today's the present. Today is a present. The past is gone. Today's the present. Tomorrow's a gift. Panda, the Kung Fu Panda, they say all the same shit. Hi, good morning. I'm at work right now. I'm at my 9 to 5. I'm making these stock videos, helping you guys out, giving you guys my time, and I'm just asking to click a button to like my video so it can, help the algorithm. I can reach more people. I could help more people. And in return, everyone makes more money. Everyone, what happens when you make more money? You're happier. The people that say money doesn't buy happiness? Yeah, you think the guy driving a Lamborghini, it's like say a guy has cancer. That's horrible, I have people in the family that have that. It's horrible, it's awful. But even then, they will tell you, money's not everything. It's not. But wouldn't you want to live like a king among kings before you go? Maybe you have one leg. You got blown off in the war, You can either be in a wheelchair, play video games, eat Cheetos, slowly wither away, have no money, make excuses, or you can drive a goddamn Lamborghini with your one leg. Oh, poor guy. Oh, that guy's a Lamborghini. That guy's, boosting down the highway, lime green, yellow, red Lamborghini, Porsche, Tesla, whatever it is, BMW, Mercedes. And, that guy is not living the same life as you. Andrew Tate says a lot of right things. Quality of life and time and, energy spent on things, these all cost life force. Days and time and hours and energy you don't get back. So you need to be a little bit more picky with your time and information. 534, this is the dip. They make it so... Ooh, market's closed. I can't buy fractional shares anymore. They make it... Isn't... Oh, the app's just lagging. Great. Okay. Let's buy some more fractional shares. $2,000 in cash, $1,000 of untaxed, untaxed interest. Okay. Here we go. It looks like we might be making new lows. Or we hold the 534. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's, whatever the visual number is, we still have like a whole percent down to go. But we are getting dipped out at 534. And look at that, starting to flush. Big money is starting to come back in the market. Could have bought at the low here, 534.50. Sold at 536. They give you opportunities to make money all the time. 534. Let's get closer to 5. Yep. Look how, when it wants to move, look how quickly it moves. It's not no crypto. It's not moving in seconds. It's not some insanely manipulated, but it's still pretty manipulated. And I think it's pretty cool that it's manipulated by the guys that own it. BlackRock and whatnot. UPS guy. From 534, we got a 30-40 cent dip bounce. So a lot of retail, or people, not retail, algorithms and stuff, large sell here, and then, they're making the money here, or they're covering their shorts and they're going to drop it even more here. Once it goes to like a resistance point, like under 535. It's going to try to go to 535 or so, a little bit higher, and then get rejected and probably go to like 533. We'll see. And like it says 533, this is probably like 530, and this 531 or this 530 is probably like it's probably like 530 right here. Love to see it. And I showed you in a previous video, I dollar cost averaged a little bit this morning. $27 in NVIDIA, just small stuff. This is what I mean by dollar cost averaging. Recently bought half a share, and then I bought $38 right there. Average is $2.40. Yeah, I think what we just saw with the. I think that's what's going to happen here. Right here, the 538. We're getting a bit of an opposite effect. This is not good. But 538. So you got the 530. You got the manipulated move here. Drops here. 538. So this is like 33. It makes a lower low, which is from 33 to 31. So basically from like 540 to 535 lower low, but it's pretty much where this went, and then it really just flushed people out. 2.5% from the highs from 535 to 522, and I hope we get that. I hope we get that 530. I think it's coming. But if it doesn't come, that's all right. We still got some very close, 0.10 basis points, 0.10% or so, 0.20, 0.50%, whatever. It's super close to the low. This is what matters.